Yeah. Welcome to Tabletop Anthologies. I'm Severian, and I'll be your game master this evening. Been a little while since I've run a game on stream, quite a few months, so I'm excited to play this. This is Troika, the science fantasy tabletop RPG by Melsonian Arts Council. I hope I said that right. I didn't really have, a proper pronunciation anywhere, but I'm really excited to play this one. It's rules light. Like I said, science fantasy, so a lot of like 70s science fiction fantasy sort of inspiration to this one. But beyond that, it's a tabletop RPG in which players travel by eldritch portal and non-Euclidean labyrinth, golden sailed barges between the uncountable crystal spheres strung delicately across the humpback sky. A lot of big words in this game, too. But what you encounter on those spheres and in those liminal places is anybody's guess, and I wouldn't presume to tell you. But we're going to find out. We're going to hear a little bit about these characters here, being played by Preacher, Dionysus, Alpha Wolf Zero, and Forloth. But first, I'm going to tell you where you guys are. We're going to jump right into it, playing the introductory adventure from the core rules. The Blancmange and Thistle is the name of this adventure, and also the name of the hotel you are in. It's an extravagant hotel cast in gold and chrome. Chandeliers, ironwork, thick, colorful, mismatched carpets, paintings of every style, taste, and era, guests and nooks buried in deep chairs seemingly built just for them, and mandrels everywhere, along with the smell of brass polish and artificial cherry in the air. You all arrive looking for a suitably glamorous accommodation for your first few days in the city of Troika. The concierge has informed you all that that they are hosting their annual feast of the Kiliarch on the roof, and as a result, there is unfortunately only one room on the 6th floor that's left, and you must simply attend the party. It's a positive delight to have you. But in a fit of politeness, you've all agreed to share the remaining room. So I'm going to take a moment now to introduce all of you. Let's hear what the concierge is seeing standing in front of him. We'll start with the top left there, Preacher. Let's hear a little bit about your character, what they look like.
So you see a kind of a boy. He's like 5'2", 5'3". He looks like he's like 15 or something like that. He's wearing like a black overcoat that kind of slightly covers his face with buckles and a hood. Underneath is a simple white tunic tucked into some black pants, and they're slightly too big. But he also is wearing these worn out boots with like the buckles barely hanging on. You can tell he's just kind of rough and kind of worse for wear. My character's name is Altair Warlov. My village was burnt down by a series of like ruffians, and my mother was killed. She was beheaded by snake cultists, and my father was drug out and hung by corrupt officials in the village. And because of that, I have kind of embraced the fact that I've lived my life on the streets and learned everything through various rough tumbles, and now my character just kind of has an oversized sword on his back and a chip on his shoulder, and he's just kind of living his life and doesn't take anything in stride. He's kind of really short-tempered and ready to kind of not take any shit off anybody, essentially. That's Altair.
All right. A grim backstory for our first character there. Next up, we'll go with Dionysus playing Dorzoka.
When Dorzoka enters the hotel here, you can kind of see him. He looks all about, but he seems to be mainly like eyeing in the doors of the building, and he's looking at him, and you kind of see him like looking at it, and then you see like he's almost trying to look through the keyhole, but you know that there's nothing on the other side, and you probably can't see through it. You don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's just old and nuts. Dorzoka is what we would call a keymaster. He wanders the universe, fathoming the workings of all entryways. He looks a little bit older, kind of a stocky build, maybe about 5'9". Probably as a youth was likely pretty strong. He wears simple clothing, almost like that of a commoner, linen top and pants. Around his waist, though, is a leather belt, which is where all his tools hang from. Every inch of it has some sort of key hanging from that. Some look to be quite old, others maybe not even from this world, and some that look like they haven't even been fashioned to be used yet. On his back is a rucksack where he keeps most of his items. And then kind of in between that and his back sits a rather large sledgehammer with the hammer side up. It also looks quite old and battle hardened as well. And he eventually makes his way up to the lobby and then to the 6th floor.
And you will make your way to the 6th floor after I figure out how to unmute myself there. And we will see what happens when you depart. But we're going to talk to Alpha Wolf Zero first about his character.
So you see a very tall, kind of stout man, probably about between the height of 6'5" to 6'7", standing there, very military-esque style, with a sword in between both hands, kind of propped up on the ground, 2 swords on his back, adorned in white robes with a golden trim around it, and a symbol on the chest piece. And if anybody knows what the symbol resembles, it is a symbol of the Temple Knight of Telok, the Swordbringer. And as you begin to look at his body and his flesh, some of his flesh gives away, especially along his forearm and along the side of one of his legs. And you don't see flesh anymore, you see metal, as if though he was forged or made machine in some parts of his body. And so that's kind of a secret that he has, being a former monk, turning into a Temple Knight of Telok. And then he's standing there very stoutly, and very, very haughty, almost in a way, with his hood up, kind of just taking in the sight and ready to continue on and follow the rest of the group up to the room.
All right. So even more swords here in the lobby. Now we'll move to Forloth. What about your character?
My character is a Sissy Van Panuas, recently graduated from the esteemed Haskatchian Assassins Academy. I am dressed all in black. But if you look closely, the black is maybe last season before. A little shabby. He's kind of skinny, gangly, a little bit on the tall side, but a bit of a kid. But he has big plans. He's fully licensed as an assassin, and the world should beware. And I look around a little confusedly and shuffle after the rest of them.
And before we continue on, I just wanted to mention thank you, Ketabos, for all of those gifted subs in the chat. We had a hype train going there for a little bit. Thank you. We appreciate that. Good to see you. So now, we have these 4 unusual individuals. Maybe not too unusual for the rest of the crowds here in the city of Troika. But you're gathered here in front of the desk at the Blancmange and Thistle. The concierge has put a silver room key on a chain that appears too small for any neck and too large for any wrist on the counter in front of you. The concierge has also pointed out that near you there is a glass hotel map illuminated.
I look at the
You do.
party. Do they all, or this group of individuals, do they all appear to be what I would consider to be human?
If you
It's up to
look
each of
at
them.
Scarpe, you would see the metal, so you're not sure, but because you also see flesh. So, kind of up to your discretion on what you want to.
So are we talking more cyborg or more golem type?
I would say that he is a man, but he is more like parts of him have been replaced with
Okay.
metal.
They can rebuild him.
Yeah.
Think Terminator.
Basically, like, yeah, think Terminator 2, like where the flesh gives away and there's metal underneath and all that stuff.
Gotcha.
I am human. Dorzaka is human. And he doesn't give anybody time. As soon as that silver key gets set up on the counter, he swipes it. And you can see him almost like there's suddenly a special spot on his belt where that could go, and he clamps it in, and I will hold the key for the party.
Are we a party? I thought we were sharing a room or something. Is there a discount if we share a room, proprietor? Good sir.
Well, no, there's not, but you can attend the feast for free.
Ah, wonderful.
Will-
A feast.
Will there be a rollaway hay mat for us to sleep on?
Of course, we can bring one to your room.
Looking around the room, is there any beds in here, or is it just like a living room suite type thing?
Right now, you are in the hotel lobby.
Oh, okay. I thought we had gone to the
So
room.
as I
My bad.
described at the beginning, no, not at the room yet. The adventure is getting to the room.
What?
So,
Interesting.
you stand now in the hotel lobby of the Blancmange and Thistle. Like I was saying, there's chandeliers, ironwork, thick, colorful, mismatched carpets, paintings of every style, taste, and era, and guest and nooks buried deep in deep chairs. And there's mandrels everywhere. And I literally mean mandrels, like the type of, are they're a primate or something, or a monkey? I didn't look it up, but there's a little picture of a mandrel in the stream overlay there.
And so right now we're on the second floor of the hotel. The check-in was on the second floor. Did I understand that correctly?
Ground. You are currently on the ground floor. If you happen to consult the nearby illuminated glass map, you are in the lobby currently at the ground floor. The top of the hotel is the 6th floor, which is your room. And it looks like you've got two paths to get there, either the elevator or the stairs, unless you can think of some other, third tangent of a path, which, seems to happen in games like these.
Scarpe is probably like standing back in the middle, still, with his sword, hands on his sword, and his eyes are always moving. He's very aware all the time of his surroundings. Is there any other path that I can see that might lead us somewhere?
Let's do a roll for awareness skill check. So that would be rolling under. In this system, we have a skill for each character. In the case of Scarpe, it looks like you've got a skill of 5 that's rolled during character generation, and you have an awareness skill, which you have 3 ranks in, so totaling 8 for your roll. So you want to roll under 8.
Nice.
You should be able to just click in your sheet there in Foundry.
Nice.
Awesome. All right. Okay, so Scarpe Spitzer, you rolled a 6, which is under an 8. What were you looking for exactly?
A different path, other than the ones we already know from the map, and anything that might give us a different access route or a different area to be aware of.
Okay. Well, looking at the map and then scanning around the lobby, you can see the entrance to the stairs nearby, as well as a an elevator entrance with very mirror polished chrome doors. The only other way you can think of to get in would be directly from above. Flying, something of that sort.
Okay.
Are you asking out loud?
No, I'm not asking out loud. I was just looking around, just standing there, like kind of like a watchman. So then I guess I look to the others and I say, well, my friends, we only have a few options: the stairwell, the elevator, or if any of you have a flying apparatus, we might be able to get up that way.
In the middle of him saying that, Altair takes his boot off, shakes the rocks out of it, grabs one, and throws it, and it pangs off the side of his head.
How do you respond, Scarpe?
What is the meaning of that? And he just like looks down at the pebble or rock or whatever that was thrown.
Just wanted to know if it would make a ting or a thud.
And you heard a thud instead of a ting.
Weird.
Is the proprietor still standing behind the counter?
Yes, he's doing some sort of busy work, cleaning up behind the desk, but he's there.
I beg your pardon, good sir. So we just go to the 6th floor, open the door, leave our stuff in there, whatever we have, and come back down to the feast, correct? Is that?
Well,
that's
the feast is up on the roof, beyond the 6th floor.
I see. So we can stop at our room, drop off our stuff, and then go up the stairs to the roof and enjoy the feast, correct?
That sounds like an excellent plan, sir.
And do people generally go to the 6th floor without any?
Well, yes. If they have a room on the 6th floor, they generally travel to the 6th floor.
And how do people generally travel to the 6th floor?
He's kind of looks around like he's looking for a camera or something, like he's on a prank show. Well, you can see on the map there that you can travel on the elevator, or if you are so inclined for a little bit of exercise before your feast, you may take the stairs.
Very good, very good. Just wanted to confirm. I thank you, sir. I thank you.
Walks up to you, Forlath, Assisi, right? Is that how you say the name?
That's how you say the name.
And he kind of puts his hand on your shoulder and he says, dear journeyman, have you not been to a hotel in your time?
I just, Dorzoko, was it? Yes, Dorzoko. Dorzoko. I just have a strange feeling about this. That's all.
Most of us, we tend to go to our rooms first and freshen up. For you, I would say some powder along the forehead to hide the grease would be in order before attending the party.
I thank you.
There's not enough powder to fix that one. That guy's got a face for radio.
I appreciate the compliment.
And so Dorzoka kind of pulls the key off of his belt, and being a key master, am I able to actually just open up a portal to the room with the key that I have?
The plot thickens.
So you have a spell that may be able to achieve something like that, I believe. You do not.
Lock, open.
I'm thinking of another character.
No.
You would not be able to do that. Someone who's had many more centuries of experience in what you do would be able to do that, but you're not quite there yet.
Well, then I go over and press the elevator button. Bing!
And I follow.
You approach. All right, and you approach the elevator, and there is no button, but there is a cord there to pull.
Oh, okay. Well, then I pull the cord.
All right. So you pull on the wire cord set into the wall, and it issues a rapid series of clatters when yanked, like porcelain thrown in a sink. The lift doors are chromed, allowing you all to get a good look at yourselves before the lift arrives. Just want to make sure Scarpe, Spitzer, and Altair Warlov, are you following them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be the last one probably to walk in
Okay.
and be like, trying to
In a
like
short-
make room in the elevator when it's already packed.
All right. In a short moment, the chrome doors open, and two persons covered in entirely interlocking metal plates step out of the elevator. In unison, it looks like they're moving, and they head towards the exit of the hotel. However, inside of the elevator, there is a ironwork cage, thick green carpet, and a small chandelier hanging from the top. It looks like if you're a bit on the taller side, it would probably brush your head. The walls of the lift are painted. Looks like going up there, it seems to go into a gradient. You can see the bare walls beyond the iron cage. And sitting in the corner is a tiny mandrill in a red suit, operating an arcane set of controls. What do you do?
Oh.
Do you have a permit for this thing? I say to the mandrill.
It lifts its head. It looks you dead in the eyes, like you can see the understanding in its eyes, and it just tilts its head like it's heard that millions of times before.
Very well, and I like duck underneath the chandelier and I get in the back.
So I'm looking at Mandrill right now, and it actually looks like this, just with a little suit on. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, cute. With the red and blue face, all of it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. All right. Good day to you, sir. 6th floor, please.
It has a tiny little hat on, and it tips its little hat to you. Once you all pile into the elevator, your feet sink several inches into the thick green carpet as you step on. There's a very nice like light air in here, almost like there's oxygen pumped in here or something. In front of the mandrill, now that you're stepped into the elevator, you can see that this arcane set of controls is just absolutely crazy looking. There's all sorts of knobs and levers and gears and tubes and vials of stuff all over this wall in front of this little mandrill that starts frantically reaching and grabbing for different levers. And the
As he's
elevator
doing that, I'm just
begins to move.
watching intently.
The elevator begins to move. Go ahead.
Like when we sink down into the grass, when I see the panel, and it's not just a button, it's just a bunch of intricate levers and vials and what have you. I sit down in the grass and I just watch him.
Wait, is it grass or is it just green carpet?
Green carpet, grass, turf.
Reminiscent of grass, but it's just very thick carpet.
Oh, okay. Thick carpet then. I sit down and I watch him work the levers.
All right. Anyone else want to do anything in particular as the elevator begins to, it first lurches, but then slowly glides upwards smoothly? Nothing? Okay.
No, I don't.
Roll for initiative. No, I'm just kidding. That's not even how initiative works in this.
I knew that. This guy was Mojo Jojo the whole time. Dang it.
All right, so lift moves slowly and generates a hum that seems to register in your teeth, if you have any teeth. It stops at the first floor with a very light ding of a tone. And the chrome doors begin to slide open, slowly revealing a sweet old lady in a blue shawl with blue-rinsed gray hair. She steps in, hands a red bonbon to the mandrill, and the mandrill begins to scarf it down and starts to hiccup happily. And she just stands there with a bunch of extra bonbons, it looks like, on a plate and smiles at you all as the doors close behind her. Do you guys do anything?
Dorzoka just holds his hand out.
She kind of leans down towards you, smiles, and says, "Oh, what's your name?"
My name is Dorzoka.
"Have a bonbon," and she offers you your choice of blue, red, yellow, black, purple, or green.
Do you take the blue pill or the red pill?
Let's see how far this rabbit hole goes.
He takes a purple one.
All right. Do you eat it?
All gone.
It tastes like licorice.
Of all the flavors.
Delicious.
This
If
is
you
really
like
good.
licorice, it's delicious. All right.
I thank you, my lady.
So she looks around, and her eyes stop on a sissy. Where are you from?
Ah, good day, my fair lady. I am from Hatchscotch, from the Benua family. Perhaps you have heard of us?
No.
Ah, well, small matter, small matter. And how about yourself, madam?
Well, I'm from around here, Troika. And how long will you all be staying here?
How long would you recommend?
Oh, as long as you need. Here, would you like one? And she offers you a bonbon of either blue, red, yellow, black, purple, or green.
I could never say no to a lady. I'll try one of the green ones, if I may.
All right. You bite into. Do you bite into it?
I bite into it.
It tastes of passion fruit.
Passion fruit. How delightful.
Very subtle flavor. She then looks.
Mine was.
That's
mine was
delicious.
black
Thank you.
licorice.
Then she looks at Scarpe Spitzer, and she says, "Where are you going?"
And he actually, for the first time, he removes his hood. He says, "Madam, I am going up to our room to drop our things off and attend the party on the roof, apparently."
Would you like to take one with you? And she offers you a bonbon of either blue, red, yellow, black, purple, or green.
He says, "Why, yes, madam. I'll take the yellow. Yellow like the golden sun that T-Lock shines upon us all." And I kind of
Yes.
thank her and pop it in my mouth.
All right. It's got a nice, sweet lemon flavor. Not too tart, but just a little tart.
You see that even the slightest tartness makes him go like pucker and very good. Yeah.
And at last, she looks at Altair. And she says, "Will you be visiting the porcelain martyrium of St. Jude while you're here?"
Absolutely not. Sounds lame and black.
Yeah. But are you associated, or have you ever been associated with the Red Church?
No, don't care much for red. Don't like churches either.
And this whole time, the elevator's been slowly grinding up towards the next floor.
Still making porcelain noises, clattering porcelain noises.
Yes, a little bit. It's not as audible out here, or rather in here. So,
Is there
Altair,
music? Is there elevator music?
there is not.
Awkward
Just
silence.
The grinding, yeah, the grinding of the elevator, the chandelier kind of tinkling a little bit above you, and that's really about it, other than you guys talking. But Altair, after she says those things to you and asks you those questions, she also offers you a bonbon of either blue, red, yellow, black, purple, or green color.
He reaches up and he takes the black one.
Do you eat it?
I kind of study it for a second and then take a bite out of it. Yes.
Sesame seeds. It's a sesame bun. A little
And
bit
like you
savory,
would
but
see-
still sweet.
You would see like a face, very very subtle. Like if you weren't looking, you wouldn't catch it. But it just And it's like at first it's like, that's weird, but I like it.
A sesame bonbon.
So Dorzoka, you would start to realize that your eyes become a little bit sensitive to light, and those around you can noticeably see how dilated your pupils are. You have +1 to second sight.
What?
He
That
kind of looks
is-
back to the mandrel and he's, can you turn down the lights a little bit?
What color did she give to the mandrel?
Red. And so second sight is an advanced skill. It's actually listed in the book. Use of this allows the detection of magic. On a successful test, you focus your inner eye and all sorcerer's activity glows faintly for a moment.
Rank 1?
Yep, until you rest.
We'll add that in there. Thank you.
Scarface Spitzer, you had a yellow one, correct?
Yes, sir.
You feel surprisingly full from that, almost as much as if you had eaten a full provision.
Oh, nice.
Sissy, you had green, passion fruit
Correct.
flavored one. Roll a 2d6 for me.
No. Wait a second. How do you do that again? Is it roll space?
I added the dice tray underneath the chat there. You should be able to just click the d6, the little square symbol,
Oh.
twice.
Right. Okay. Hold on. Yeah,
and then click.
That's it. Got it.
Okay. So, a few seconds or so after you eat that, while they're still talking to this sweet old lady, you realize you can't feel the carpet on your feet anymore because you're floating a few inches above it.
Oh,
And I'll tell
you
you,
are really high.
yeah. Altair, you had a black one, right?
Yes.
You are feeling a bit more lucky. You have 1 point of luck restored, but you're already at full luck. So unfortunately, not really any benefit for you at the moment. But I'll let you have a little bit of a bonus later. I'll keep that in consideration. So the elevator continues to rise,
Can I
reaching the second
Move?
floor. Yeah.
can I actually like move forward, move back, or am I just floating like a balloon?
You are.
Let me tie a string to you and just drag you along.
No, you're able to. You just hover above any surface you're touching. You're able to walk around just fine, and it looks like you. If you look closely, you can see that you kind of depress the carpet a little bit above, where you're hovering, but you're just almost like you're, opposite polarities or whatever on a magnet, or same polarities on a magnet, repelling each other.
Got it.
So you reach the second floor, and there's another even lighter tone that you hear this time. You've noticed that the whole time you were rising, and you can see that bare wall of the elevator shaft, the gradients of colors constantly changing all the way. And the doors open, those mirror polished doors, revealing a cloud of green gas in front of you, taking up the entire entrance to the hallway. The sweet old lady, she gives a little bit of a huff, looks displeased about this, and begins to exit the elevator. And you can see that in this cloud of green gas, there's little balloon bladders floating around in it, supporting decorative jewelry, much like an ear would have an earring hanging off of it. You realize that this gas cloud is sentient, some sort of being, and it floats into the elevator with you, taking up all of the air in the elevator as the doors close.
Who farted?
Classy. Are we like Suffocating?
You are beginning to suffocate. The oxygen is running out in the elevator as this gas form takes up all of it in here, and the little mandrill that's operating the elevator pulls out a tiny gas mask fit just for his head. And he seems to be just fine as the elevator starts moving up. What do you all do?
Rude.
I would like immediately drop down to like my stomach essentially, or like get as low as I can, and like I don't know, put like both hands really deep into the carpet.
Okay. What about everyone else? We're essentially in like a round timed situation here. So I'll take from each of you what you want to do.
Not a great time to be floating, I would guess. I try to go higher, go higher, go higher. Towards the top of the elevator.
Okay.
Am I able to move up?
I'm going to get each person's action, and then we'll start
Okay.
getting results. So, who's next? Dorzoka and Scarpe. Anything you want to try and do?
Does the mandrill have a name tag?
It does not, no.
He watches a sissy drop to the ground or go up, and he watches who was it, Altier? You went to the ground?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
he's like, but they're still struggling, so, or at least he thinks they're still struggling. He kind of glances back at the mandrill who's got his nice little gas mask on. Do you have another?
He just slowly shakes his head like this.
So I too shrink to the ground, into the grass, carpet, fake carpet.
All right.
What's the old lady doing?
She left.
She got off.
She got off on the second
Yep.
floor. Got it.
Mm-hmm. Scarpe, what about you?
Scarpe being the tallest one here, realizes there's probably no more room on this green carpet. So Scarpe is going to try and grab the top bars of this
Chandelier.
elevator cage, because it's like a cage, right? That we can
Yes.
see outside of.
Mhm.
And I'm going to try and hold myself up with like a pull up outside, and try and push my nose and my mouth outside of the elevator to try and breathe any air that's outside of there.
Okay. Altair, I need you to give me either a strength check or a hold breath check. So
Strength check or a whole breath check.
Right. So the way this system works, you would have to have either of those advanced skills, and if you do not, then you just roll your skill flat, and it would be a roll under.
I was about to say I do not have either one of those, so we'll do a skill under.
Okay. You take 4 points of damage to your stamina as you begin to suffocate. Dorzoka, you also hit the dirt, right? Or hit the carpet. So I need you to do the same thing, either a strength or hold breath check, and then you will be taking 1d6 damage if you fail.
And it's an under?
Yes. You got it. You hold out. Looks like you found the last little pocket of fresh air in the carpet down there. Breathe it in for this round.
He's deep in the carpet now with the dust mites and everything else, and he's just literally, if this is the corner of the thing, he's like this, and he's just nose deep.
All right, Scarpe, give me a climb check or something comparable to that if you have it. Otherwise, it's just a flat skill roll.
Yeah, I'll have to do a skill roll then.
Okay.
Nope.
You struggle to get to the top of this cage that you're trapped inside of. You're kind of like flailing around in this gas cloud. You end up knocking in a couple of these balloon bladder-like things that are floating with the jewelry hanging all over them. And you also take some damage here. Only 1 point. A sissy.
I have a climb skill.
Oh, good. I was gonna say you will also get that climb check going, but give me a +1 on that because you're hovering gives you a little bit of an advantage.
Excellent. And can I roll from the character sheet? Is that an option?
Yes. If you have the skill for it for climb, just click that, and there's probably I think it comes up with a +1 somewhere on there you can click.
It says roll under, roll over. That's all it
Okay,
says.
just do a roll under it, and we will, or it'd be a -1 that we want because you're rolling under.
Okay, roll under. -1.
And you didn't need it. You got it.
Excellent.
So you're able to do what Scarpe was trying to do. You reach the top of those bars, pull your face up, and smash your nose through the grill up there, and get some fresh air that you can feel, blowing down the elevator shaft towards you. And so we are effectively now entering a second round where we're going to take another round of actions here as you continue to suffocate in the elevator. I have to put the music on loop here. Okay, there we go. So, what do you guys do now? Looks like the only one that had success in that round was a sissy getting his nose up through the top.
Dorzoka found
Dorzoka
I
found
buried my
a
face
patch
in the
too.
carpet.
Yes, that's right. Sorry. So what are you guys doing now? The gas cloud continues to float there in the space.
I kind of glance up out of the corner of my eye, and through the carpet you hear me mumbling, This rude cumulonimbus! Somebody, we gotta take care of this thing! And I'm shifting around, and I reach into my rucksack and I grab my lantern, and I light it in an attempt to either light it, disintegrate it, get rid of the moisture, whatevs.
Dissipate.
Dissipate, yeah.
Okay, you're trying to dissipate the gas just kind of around you, and in what way?
At just using my lantern, trying to use the heat from the fire of my lantern to. Will it push the gas back? Will it ignite?
You're gonna light a lantern, then basically is what you're trying to do.
Yes.
Okay. Let's do the same thing we did last time. We'll go around and get everyone's intentions, and then do the results.
Okay.
You guys do that whatever order you want to.
So do I see Scarpe and Assisi, do I see them like choking or anything, or do they manage to actually get up there and I can see them breathing pretty well?
Scarpe is flailing around, trying to climb, unable to, and is choking. Assisi was able to get up to the top of the elevator and is now hanging up there, breathing air through the top.
Okay, so I want to, upon seeing that, I want to try to take a breath, kind of almost like hold my breath a little bit, and I want to be able to either like jump off the side and grab the top because I'm kind of short, or I could either run and jump off or try to climb up to there to try to get air as well.
Okay. All right. And Scarpe, Assisi, what are you guys doing?
Scarpe, I guess, is going to he's going to cut a piece of his robe off and try and like put it around his mouth, hoping that he won't inhale the toxicness, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure. He might just suffocate himself.
Makeshift mask there. Why don't you go ahead and roll skill to see how well you craft that? And meanwhile, Assisi, what are you doing? Just kind of hanging out there, breathing the fresh air.
I stay up there, but I say loudly, hopefully to the Nimbus but Oculus there, and say, "Pardon me, sir, good son. You seem to be sucking up all the oxygen in the room. We humanoids are kind of dependent on it. I don't suppose you could adjust to some degree."
There's a low rumbling sort of vibration that comes from those floating bladder balloons. Roll a etiquette skill test if you have it, otherwise just a flat skill.
No, no
Lightning
etiquette.
and thunder.
No etiquette. Let's see. So what would that be? That would be
Your skill at the top, you just click that.
got it. Okay. Roll under. Oh, come on, buddy.
Gonna be tough.
Oh!
Yeah.
That is not under.
It seems to understand that it's talking to you. You've gotten reaction, but you're under the impression that it doesn't fully understand you. You know, gaseous forms don't always understand physical life very well. You know that from, past experience. Of course.
Which is what I'm trying to bring to his attention. I was sure it was just an oversight on his part, and not intentional rudeness. And I go back to breathing through the grate.
All right. Altair, give me a climb skill or something else that might be appropriate if you have it. You're trying to get to the top of the elevator, right?
Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. I actually do have climb. I have climb and run both, so that works.
Nice.
We'll do climb. Roll under, yes.
Yep. So close. You're also trying to scramble up and unable to. You take 4 points of damage as you continue to suffocate. So we've got Dorzoka is the last one you haven't heard your result, right? You were lighting that lantern.
Yes.
You light the lantern, and the gas form seems to respond to it as the fire does actually start to push away the gas. And it seems like it almost ignited like a small portion of it, but it quickly retracted. You might have heard it or something as the air kind of opens up around you as the gas becomes denser and like packs into a corner of the elevator a little bit. So you do not take any damage for this round.
Quick, gather round the lantern. It seems to be afraid of it. The fire hurts it. Since it wants to be rude, I plan on being rude as well. Get close to the lantern now.
All right, next round. What do you all do?
I continue holding my lantern just right here in front of my face.
So seeing that, Altair realizes that he too actually has a lantern and a flashy bowl, so he's actually going to light his lantern as well.
Okay. That works. You do the same thing, and it looks like this gas cloud is retracting more and more away from the flame. Scarpe and Assisi, what are you doing?
Well, don't everybody talk at once.
Yeah.
Scarpe, go ahead. We're kind of in a. I'm going by the by where we are in the screen. The Twitch screen.
Yeah, however you guys want to handle it.
So the only communication we've received from this thing is that low rumble, right?
Yeah.
I say to it, no, I just get down and near Dorzoka and Altair's lanterns and try and breathe a little bit now.
Okay. And with those lanterns lit, there's enough space near them that you're able to breathe okay. Assisi, you're hanging on up there, still trying to breathe, but would you like to do anything as you're hanging there?
Same again. I try to speak to the cloud again. Excuse me, good sir. Yes, we need air. We need air.
Give me that same skill check again. A little closer, but still no good. The same result. It looks like he's kind of starting to understand you, though. Because he's starting to pull back. Well, I say it. It's a gas cloud. Who knows what their roles are as far as socially with that sort of stuff. But It's drawing
What the
away from you. It
pronouns
seems it seems to understand that it's entering your space too much, that you can't change your shape in a sense to adapt to the environment the same way, and it pulls back into the corner of the elevator, away from the lanterns, away from you all, just as the elevator dings at the 3rd floor. The doors open, and the gas cloud slowly starts to dissipate out into the hallway.
Victory is mine!
Next time, somebody tell us about the weatherman so we can expect clouds.
But the gas cloud threat being gone, you can see now that the 3rd floor has an alcove set into the wall of the elevator shaft. In this alcove is a small shop with all manners of snacks and toiletries pinned to the wall, and behind the counter sits a shopkeeper. It looks like an egg-shaped human of some sort, possibly, with tiny arms, barely long enough to reach the top shelves. You cannot see his legs, but assume they are equally small. His mouth is alarmingly big, though, making his aggressive sales pitches even more frightening. As you can see him rambling on it already, talking to the mandrill it looks like he's familiar with, trying to sell snacks to the mandrill. What do you all do?
And how far away is he?
In the wall right next to you, beyond the iron cage.
So it's like the door's open and a shop is right in front of us?
So the doors open out to the hallway, but then in the walls of the elevator shaft is where the alcove is.
Oh, like a dumbwaiter, but a shop instead.
Yeah.
So he's literally just there. And
Yes.
We could purchase something and we wouldn't have to exit the elevator to do so.
Yep.
Does he
Good
have
night,
your
sir.
gas masks?
A little
As you're-
late, Skype.
As you're taking in the view of the shopkeeper and all of his sundries in there, the gas actually leaks back in a little bit. A tendril of gas leaks back in, grabs what looks like the last bag of salt and vinegar chips, tosses a couple coins onto the counter there, and then the gas form slips back out.
You bastard! I wanted those.
I shake my lantern at it.
So, what else does he have? This shopkeep.
Well,
Anything of interest?
It looks like the wall merchant finishes up his deal with the mandrill as he tosses a small bag of rotten passion fruits to him, and the mandrill starts shoveling those into its mouth. Otherwise, the shopkeeper turns to you and said, welcome. I have many things for sale here. What could I interest you in? This pair of ruby lorgnettes, or selection of stuffed owls, perhaps? Have a tray of pocket gods, the usuals. I also have a
Interesting.
single tin of jellied prunes, some goose grease, and smelling salts.
How much for the smelling salts?
3 silver pence.
I have 2 dice 6
Per
silver
vial.
pence. Should I roll and see how many I have?
Yes.
2 dice 6.
And if you want me to read those out again, I can.
Ooh, that's kind of steep. No, sorry. No. I'm fine. Thank you.
I grab a jar of the prunes, and then I grab like the local newspaper, and I purchase those.
2 silver pence, please.
I drop the silver pence down, immediately walk to the other side of the elevator, sit down, flip over to the 4 Loth funny pages, and start reading those.
Altier, do you plan on spending this party inside the can?
You never know. I might.
Being stopped up and all.
Uh,
Shopkeep, do you have
Yes?
anything not displayed? Like items that you might trade for?
Yes, of course I have. This toothbrush
used?
It can be.
How about some keys? Do you have any keys?
No, I do not. No keys.
How much for a used toothbrush then?
1 silver pence.
Deal.
He hands it over and grabs your silver.
Yeah.
And it looks like the mandrill is about to start moving the elevator when the shopkeep tosses more of the rotting passion fruits to him. Keep him busy.
How many of the smelling salts does he have?
He's got a whole rack of smelling salts that he points out to you. It's got a little sign on it that says 3 silver pence per vial.
I take 2.
Okay. That would be 6 silver.
And I toss him 6 silver and grab the 2 vials and say to a sissy, these might come in handy.
Very wise. Very wise, Scarpe.
Is there anything else I can get for you? This goose grease is premium stuff. 15 silver. Very slippery. And he grabs just a little bit of it, starts rubbing it between his fingers, and you can see how slippery it is.
Very impressive. Alas, your prices are just beyond me today, good sir. What news of the shaft, by the way? Anything going on?
Oh, same old, same old. And he starts cleaning up his shop since you're not paying customers any longer.
I see. Mandrill, my good man. Onward and upward.
He pays you no mind while he finishes the last piece of passion fruit. Sucks off his fingers to make sure he's got all of that done, and starts the elevator again without even checking if you're ready. The elevator starts creeping up again. It's doing that grinding that seems to go in through your teeth. One second here. Didn't organize the music for this very well. Anyways, another chime from the elevator, this time an even lighter tone than the 3rd floor. You've reached the 4th floor. Different color gradient on the wall here, but everything else seems to be about the same. No wall merchant here. The chrome doors slide open again.
Prepare yourself, men.
Howdy, y'all.
Hold up
And-
my lantern.
As the doors slide open, you see tigers. Many tigers. Too many tigers to count. They're all jumping over top of each other, crowding the entire hallway. And there is a very scrawny woman in a thick leather apron that's pushing those tigers into the elevator with you. As many as she can. What are you doing?
I'm
Am I
holding
still?
my mind. No room.
I'm holding on to. I'm still holding on.
No room, lady. Tiger Queen.
No, there must be room.
You have
Wait
too
for
many-
the next car.
Don't
Wait for the next car,
don't
please.
worry about it. And the doors start to close with 3 tigers in there.
I
I'll
am
send the
Henry
rest.
Alges.
I'll send the rest later. And the door closes as there are 3 tigers crouched there in front of you. One of them starts pacing back and forth, its mouth hanging just a little bit open, exposing its fangs.
Like right before you see the doors close, you actually hear a ting of like the tin where the prunes dropped. And I just envisioned this last 4th tiger trying to get in, and all of a sudden you see the broadside of my blade just like bang and just smack it in the face and knock it out. And I'm just standing there like,
What do you all do?
Good kitty. Good kitty.
I roll initiative. I don't know.
Hey.
I'm
Dorsoka,
Tiger King. I know how
Scarpa.
this goes.
what are each of you doing?
I pull my feet up.
All right.
How is this mandrill reacting to these 3 tigers in here?
It's operating the lift. And otherwise, it's you notice that it's starting to kind of yank at one of the tiger's tails that's swishing near it, just kind of absently playing with it.
I
So-
look at the tigers and I say, "Psst, psst, 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 psst."
All right, Scarpe, what are you just watching what the mandrel's doing and not really doing anything?
Noticing that the mandrill is not worried, he looks to the group and he says, "Look, our elevator controller here is not afraid of these tigers. We should not be as well." And I kind of like crouch down and look the tigers in the eyes and like trying to get a feel for them, and almost like put my hand out, you know, like you would with a dog or something, to try and be able to pet it
Okay.
and calm it.
It snarls, looking at Altair the way he's threateningly holding his blade right now, but then it kind of nuzzles into your hand.
See, Altair, very friendly. We might even be able to make friends with these tigers.
do
Altair
you say,
stands there
Altair?
with his blade out and then like kind of looks for a second. He slowly raises his blade back, puts it back in the sheath on his back, and just kind of looks at the tiger for a second. It's like flinches at it.
And the elevator continues to move. Now the tigers look like they are a bit more relaxed, and they're just sitting there. One of them's kind of pawing at the mandrel. Looks like they're a little bit familiar with each other, maybe. And finally, the elevator chimes again. And the doors open.
This is floor
See.
5, correct?
Yes, this is floor 5. Almost there to floor 6. So on floor 5, the doors open. And there's another tiger trainer there, it looks like. This time, a man with a long, thin, blonde mustache, and he's also got that same leather apron, and he immediately starts grabbing these tigers and pulling them into a crowd of many tigers on this floor as well. And he says, thank you. There should be more tigers soon, correct? And he just kind of looks around at everyone for a second without waiting for a response and starts stepping away and tending to the tigers. But before... Actually, never mind. Disregard that.
Close the door, Mandrill.
The door is closed. Is
On
there
this
anything you
elevator
would
right
like to
there,
do? The elevator starting to move. Is there anything you guys would like to do?
So it's just us now. It's just the 4 of us and the mandrill.
And the mandrill, yes.
I drop from the ceiling and smooth my clothing as if nothing unusual has occurred.
And after you do that, and the elevator starts to move, the doors have closed, you realize there is someone else in here with you. Standing between you all, there is a small person there, covered in brightly painted armor from head to toe, carrying a brightly colored lance. There's no
How
telling
small?
what's beneath the armor. We'll say about 3.5 feet or so, and the lance
So it's
is about 6
Like
feet
a
tall.
toothpick.
How did it get in
Very
here?
stout-looking suit of armor. It's there. Saying nothing.
Good day, sir.
It looks around to you all, and it gives a little like flourish as you say good day, and goes back
Are
to
you-
just kind of standing there looking around.
I look at the little person. And I say, "Excuse me, are you a sir?"
It looks at you, kind of shrugs like that. That's about it.
Christ, is anything fucking talk in this town?
You see it laughing. There's no noise really emanating from it, but the armor kind of clatters as it laughs.
And when I was saying sir, I meant like knight, not gender. Just in case there was any confusion.
It still would respond the same way.
The same way? Okay.
Mhm.
This quite a weapon you have.
I'm gonna say we were touching on gender a lot in this one, it seems like, aren't we? It's a interesting topic in the science fantasy genre, I guess, but he kind of flourishes his lance that he has there, and looks like he's very experienced in fighting with it. The way he handles it.
I look completely unfazed and ask it if it wants a prune.
It holds out one of its gauntlets to accept a prune.
I literally just drop one in its hand.
Tosses it back into the grill on its helmet, but you don't really see any other motions otherwise. It's almost like it just disappeared somewhere in there. Anything else you guys do? The elevator is starting to move up towards the 6th floor now.
I stand up as the elevator is finally reaching its destination.
All right. At the 6th floor, you see. Bear with me for one moment. Okay, sorry about that. You reach the 6th floor with another chime from the elevator, an even lighter tone again. There's rhythmic thumping that you can hear from the roof. Must be the Feast of the Kiliarch in full swing up there. Otherwise, you can see that the hallway's in front of you. Your room must be down at the end of it. It looks like there's some young people playing some sort of complicated dice game on an antique rug in the hallway between you and there. But otherwise, nothing else.
Gents, just a suggestion if I may.
Mimi?
May. Why don't we just stay on the elevator and go up the last floor? We obviously none of us have a lot of luggage. Maybe just the odd little kit bag. It might behoove us to just go to the feast first and find our way back downstairs. Just throwing it out there.
For as long as these elevator rides are, that might not be a bad idea. I do have the keys should anybody need it.
All right. It sounds like you're just going straight to the roof then. No visit to your room.
LTR? Scarpe?
What do I have to drop off anyway?
Scarpe, are we in agreement?
Yes, I am. My sword is yours.
Excellent! Then onwards to the feast!
All right. The doors close, and the elevator continues upward. This should be a little bit of a different music tone there as the music gets a little bit louder, the thumping gets louder, and the doors open onto the Feast of the Kiliarch on the roof of the Blancmange and Thistle Hotel. You can see that party goers are hanging about, using substances, chatting, and engaging in other festive activities. There's also fireworks being lit off, and you can actually see that the fireworks, some of them are being launched at other parties on nearby rooftops. You can see the sprawling city of Troika before you. Around you here are the glistening towers, a lot of chrome, gold, silver, that sort of stuff. Very mirror polished sort of architecture. But beyond that, you can see where the city is much older, the ancient ruins of the old city of this particular sphere. What do you all do?
To the bar, gentlemen.
I second that.
That was the longest elevator ride I've ever been on in my entire life.
I turn around and I give a provision to the mandrill and say, "Thank you, good sir."
It perks up and seems really happy about that, accepts it, and actually reaches out a tiny little paw to shake your hand.
I lean down and I shake the mandrill's hand and say, "Until we meet again."
It nods before you step off the elevator. So it sounds like you're all going to go and get a little bit of a beverage. Is that true?
Yes, indeed.
It is.
Belly up to the bar.
All right. So you approach the bar, and they are selling all sorts of drinks from across many different spheres of existence, and just about anything you can think of you'd like to drink. But in particular, a special of the hotel is a... I can't find the name of it now. It just killed the whole flow of that. An herbal liqueur served in snifter glasses.
Herbal or herbal?
Both.
Yes. I say, assassin, after you.
And the proprietor did say that this was we were being compensated for our trouble with free food and drink, correct?
He did.
Excellent. Drinks all around, my good man.
Drinks on me.
Oh, you were actually asking the bartender? The bartender seems to recognize who you all are and says, yes, I've been expecting you. What would you like to drink? And he takes all of your drink orders.
I'll try some of that herbal stuff.
Okay. He begins pouring out everything you've asked for. And the party is going full swing. Lots of merriment going on, interesting music being played. And
how many species are present?
More than you can count in this dense crowd on this roof. And you
Good
can
answer.
even see some that
Good
are
answer.
flying on and off. Not all are entering from either the stairs or elevator. There's some flying in and out. Although you can see that there are a number of mandrill guards lurking up in all the crevices of the overhanging glass ceiling above the part of the roof here. So it's kind of up in the air of whether or not you would have actually been able to approach from the roof. But someone near you draws your attention. Looks like
Wait. First, I slap Dorzoka in the back of the head and take his drink.
What?
No, I jest. Please carry on.
And near you, at the end of the bar, you can see a rather short individual. Speaking of short individuals, that mysterious fellow that joined you on the elevator is still following you.
He's actually following us.
Yes,
Joined us
just-
at the bar.
Just standing behind you as you all sit at the bar.
I beg your pardon. Would you like to join us for a drink?
He kind of shrugs, finds a spot at the bar, and hops up there. Literally has to jump up to the stool. This leans its lance against the bar and looks at you waiting for a drink.
Proprietor, please. Add a drink for my good friend here. On my stroke, your tap. Thank you.
Of course. And he gets to getting a drink for this mysterious armored fellow, who picks up the drink, pours it into his helmet's visor, and you can hear a splashing sound inside.
Does it leak out anywhere?
Yes, I was about to say, it begins leaking out through his boots. But he seems to enjoy it.
Do I see any other entities that look just like him?
No, none. There are others up here that might have some sort of semblance of armor that might have similarities, but otherwise, nothing similar to this.
So I look down at the the armored fellow. And what shall we call you?
Just tilt its head and shrugs again.
Tilted shrug?
Tilted shrug it is.
It just looks around to everyone else. He's
Shrug.
like,
To our new fellow. Tilted shrug.
So you said there was somebody else approaching us,
Yes.
or were you?
Yes.
Okay.
another person draws your interest. Another short individual wearing golden clothing. It looks like a uniform of some sort. Has the little shoulder pauldrons. I forget the name of them now. With the little frills on them, you know. He looks like an important captain of some sort.
Oh, like the rank, like you'd see on like a Russian general.
Epaulets. Epaulets.
Yeah,
Yes.
epaulets.
Yes. And he's wearing a cap to fit it with a very large silver feather peeking out of it. And it looks like he's just talking to a lot of people around him. He looks like a very important person. And then he locks eyes with each of you for just a second before approaching you all. And he says, you look like a brave set of adventurers. Am I correct?
Yeah, why certainly, of course. I can't really speak for my friends here, but they certainly all strike the dashing figure, as you can see for yourself.
No, he's a sissy.
I am
I've been
indeed.
on an adventure or two.
Well, are you for hire?
The group. You want the group discount or individually?
We'll talk price. I can pay well.
One moment, please.
But first,
Wait, one moment,
you
please.
should know who I am.
One moment, please.
Yes.
And I beckon to the other guys.
I bring our little armored fellow in as well.
Okay.
So, are we a group now? Are we a merry band? Shall we?
Fellowship?
Shall we hear this man out? Exactly, a fellowship? Shall we hear out this general? What do you say, my good fellows?
I used my last pence on a used toothbrush. I could use some money.
Exactly. Scarpe, what do you say? Are you in?
Like I said before, you have my sword.
Excellent. Altier. Are you in?
You need another drink first?
It's not like you have anything better going on.
I'm 15. Fucking cranberry juice. I don't know. Yeah. It's not like I have friends or family or a fucking place to stay anyway.
Well, now you do. Now you do, my fine lad.
Great. My friend's a sissy.
Splendid. How droll. And turn back to the general. Please, carry on. You have our ear.
Yes, well, as I was saying, I am Znezdi Tartakov, and I am the sponsor of an expedition. I seek to catalog the biological variances among goblins throughout the spheres. And we are looking for crew members to help among the golden barge named the Curious Puffin. Now, what do you say? Do
I
you
say, I
seek
bet you can't.
adventure?
I bet you 1 pence in this cranberry juice says you can't say your name 5 times fast.
You
I
would be
like
correct.
a drink to that.
And just out of curiosity, how soon does this bold adventure
Soul
start?
barge.
Well, after the feast, of course. I wouldn't miss the feast.
But, like, immediately after the feast? I mean, do we have to be sober to start the adventure, to start your quest?
Well,
He looks over
I
to a
will give
sissy and he
time.
says,
time for rest.
Very good.
Snezdy. Let's discuss compensation.
Of course, there will be plenty of money in this for you. I will sign up some contracts, and you will be paid in gold. You'll be wealthy by the end of the adventure, especially if we find enough variances variances rather, of goblins.
Excellent. I'm in. What about you, fine lads?
I hold up my glass. I am in as well.
I am in.
Then here's
long
to
as our-
adventure, and he lifts a
adventure!
mug and
To the
goes
fellowship.
toast to all of you.
And I say this does include our Lansing friend, our Lansing knight here as well. Does it not?
Yes, of course. I wouldn't leave them out. Yes.
I reach down to the knight and I give him a fist bump against his gauntlets.
All right. So that is basically the end of the scenario. You guys like blew through that. That's the quickest one shot I've ever done, but you can still explore around if you'd like. Otherwise, we can kind of have a slow wind down here, talk about the system and stuff a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, absolutely. I think it'd still be interesting. I'm sorry, go ahead, Dorzoka.
I was just going to grab another drink and head to the other side of the roof where they are launching fireworks at other buildings, and I was going to launch some fireworks myself. Care to join me?
Absolutely. Of
That
course.
sounds like the coolest fucking thing we've done all day. I'm in.
I am curious about the stairs. How it would have been different if we had taken the stairs. Presumably, at the end of this, the night's revelries, we need to get back down to the 6th floor. It might be interesting to take the stairs down and see what occurs. See what our room is like. Just because I presume. Go ahead.
There's not really, so the stairs. Yeah, we can do that. You'll see.
He said,
We'll see.
Yeah, the stairs are not very. Actually, they're gonna be cool as fuck. Let's do it.
All right. So, are you all going over to check out the fireworks? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
So you find a group of people that are setting off some fireworks, and many of them are launching them at the other rooftops. As I had mentioned, there's other feasts going on celebrating the Kiliarch there. There's just fireworks spread out all over the place. If anyone who'd like to grab one and fire them off, if you're trying to hit something in particular, you can go ahead and make a ranged attack to do that. We'll see what happens.
I would like to find the biggest looking firework laying out here.
Same. Or even
Okay.
if it takes both of us to pick up one.
I like that. You both
Like to
find
witness-
one that's was hidden under a table. It looks like
We're
maybe
Mary and
someone was
Pippin in
saving it
this
for
bitch.
later, but you're able to grab that, set it up, and light it if you would like.
You
Yes.
snooze.
Big
I'll hold it on my shoulder. Altier, you light it. Where are we aiming?
You see out there, look around, and it's like, as you're looking, you see as part of the festivities, there's a floating, almost looks like a balloon of some sort, but it looks like a gaseous cloud person. And we're like, fuck.
All right, make a ranged attack.
Let's see.
I'll let you both do it, and we'll use the higher result.
Okay. Can I just do what, like bow fighting or long, or like use the bow, or how do you want me to do it?
Oh no, it would just be your skill.
Yeah, if you don't have
Oh.
the skill for ranged attack, you just roll
Yeah.
skill, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a range.
Under or
attack
over?
skill.
It would be over for this.
Oh, because it's a... Yes.
Mhm. All right, so we use Dorzoka's 13 in this case. And let's see. The gaseous form. All right. Had to check his skill real quick. All right. Firework. You light it, and it blasts off the roof, heading straight towards this gaseous cloud that's just kind of floating along, minding its own business. Looks like it might actually be slowly hovering its way up towards the rooftop where you're at. and the rocket goes launching towards it at a rapid pace. The last second, the gas cloud parts in the middle, and the rocket goes flying through it, and it hits the top of another building. Sparks go showering all over this other party, lighting a couple tables on fire, and people scatter to try and put the fires out. But it looks like they're laughing the whole time. This is just the usual for the Feast of the Kiliarch. And another rocket is streaming straight towards you now. So roll if you'd like to try and dodge out of the way of that, all of you.
Well aimed, Altair. Well aimed. Oh, shit. It's coming right at us.
For a moment, you see Altair like completely breaks this like bratty teenage facade and kind of cracks a smile for a minute. He's like, "Ha, we did it!" And goes to do a high five and looks, "Ah, shit!" And then does it. Which I don't have a skill for apparently.
You might not. So just go ahead and do a plain skill roll for that. It'd be under.
Oh, whoops. I rolled over.
Oh.
All right. There.
Mine
Assisi
failed,
and
too.
Dorzoka.
If it was under, mine failed.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I just watch from a safe distance, nursing my drink. Who am I
Okay.
kidding? I'm not nursing it.
It's free.
All right. So Altair and Dorzoka, you take 1 point of damage. You didn't take a direct explosion from this, but it's so blinding and bright and loud that you take a point of damage as you're disoriented. And everyone around you continues laughing and cheering as more fireworks
Jump.
explode all around.
Jump up and my hair is just kind of smoking.
The
Bravo!
The
Well done, gents. Well done.
I'm blinded. Well done.
Zne-
It didn't agree.
Znesdi, the sponsor of the adventure you're going to be going on, is just standing by watching you all, observing, but cheering and clapping the whole time.
What's Tilting Shrug doing?
He is very excitedly jumping around and like clapping and doing those sort of things as you guys are lighting off fireworks. It almost gives the impression of an armored toddler, the way the way it's jumping around and excited. Is there anything else you guys would like to do at the Feast of the Kiliarch? As everyone around you continues enjoying substances and other things at the
Is there
party,
actually
music,
food?
feasts.
We haven't tried any of the
There is
local
food.
repasts.
There is food of just about any kind you can think of across all the spheres. So if there's something from your home world, your home sphere you would like, it is there.
Excellent. Excellent. So wander about, mingle, drink, eat. Anyone else of note? Anyone who approaches us or stands out?
Go ahead and roll for me a D3 and a D6.
A D3 and a D6. I also have awareness, by the way, if that means anything.
Okay. And the D3 you will have to do a slash or 1D3.
Okay, yeah, I was looking for it. So roll them separately, or? can you
Yes.
I
just
think
do-
there's dice at the top of your character sheet. Like when you open your character sheet, I think it says D3,
Yep.
D6, stuff like that.
T30.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so it does.
Good eye. Good eye.
Here's the D3, and here's the D6.
I think it's actually supposed to be the D36. I didn't realize that was on there.
Okay.
Go ahead
you
and
wanna
roll
take-
the D36. Let's try that, see how it works out.
One more time.
Look at that.
31. All right. Okay. So as I had mentioned, there is some music thumping going on here. There's a dance floor as well. And in the middle of it is a doorway that opens. And a woman with dozens of pockets. Okay, I see what it's saying. Let me restart that. Picture it. A dance floor.
Picture
A
if you
doorway. A doorway
Italy,
opens in the
1810.
middle of the dance floor. And a woman with dozens of pockets dives out of it and disappears into the crowd. A moment later, I have to roll this. A moment later, 2 guards
It's a
from
two.
the University of Doors follow, demanding to know where she's gone. They're shouting into the crowd, looking at all of you. Where is she? I know she came through here. And the other one is kind of quickly going between people, checking, lifting up hoods as this other one's shouting. You there! And he points out you, a sissy, who's been kind of sitting back watching the whole scene. Where'd she go?
Into the crowd! That way! I
That
just
way.
point
This
point
way?
some random direction.
You do know where she went. You happen to see her.
When a sissy says that way, I walk up and I start laughing, and I'm like, actually, I saw him go that way, and point a different direction.
No, I'm Spartacus.
They split up
Not
and each
the
run a different direction, frantically looking for this person. And they kind of just
University of Doors. Do we know what that
disappeared
is?
into the crowd looking for that. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Is that what you asked?
Yes.
You would be at least familiar in passing, but it's up to you if however you want your character's backstory to go, if they are familiar with it. But the University of Doors is, of course, a university that uses doors. As you have
Being a
seen.
keymaster, I might know of this place.
Probably, yes. Would anyone else like to do anything before we end the Feast of the Kiliarch?
I kneel down to our little knightly friend, and I say, Master Struggins, do you have a mount that you joust on?
The helmet kind of lowers like this in the shoulder slump, showing that your friend is sad about not having any sort of mighty steed.
And I say, fear not. And I go to pick him up, and I put him on my shoulder. And
He
I say,
raises his hands in the air and starts like cheering, but there's no noise
I'm a
other than
winner.
just the armor clattering.
and I say, shall we give the audience a show? Both of us being knights. And I kind of look around to the dance floor and the audience around here.
Wait a second. Tilting Shrug is sitting on your shoulders?
He is on my shoulders. He's like on my right shoulder. He's got his lance right there, right next, like, with me.
Excellent. So, do the two of you now run Barter Town?
So when I see
Blaster!
I step up on, I see him do that, and I step up on a box, and I say, "Gather round, everybody! Gather round. Do we have a challenger for our friend the Tilted Shrug?"
Oh, and everyone starts quieting down a little bit around you and looking to see what you have to say. Scarpe. All eyes on you.
Scarpe looks around and looks at the guards that are around, and he's like, "Guards, care to test your mettle against a couple of knights, Sir Master Shruggins and Scarpe Spitzer, the Temple Knight of Tilak? Would you like to test your mettle against us? No death, of course, but it'd be a great show to show these fine people here at this party."
Everyone's kind of looking around at each other, and you don't seem to be getting any response. But then 2 people step forward, both of them wearing chainmail and helmets. It looks like they're warriors of some sort. They must have just been attending the party wearing this sort of armor, and they both have short swords at their hips and a pistolet at the other hip. Yeah, we'll take your challenge. And they draw their swords.
Okay. And I say, I look up at Master Shruggins, and say, now use me as your mighty steed, but I shall be fighting alongside you. And I reach behind my back, kind of like behind where he's sitting, and pull out my my falchion and my scimitar that was resting on my back. And so I've got 2 blades and he's got his lance.
All right. So we are going to go ahead and enter combat here. So the way initiative works in this is a little bit different than in any other system I've played. Each character, each participant in the combat gets an initiative number. That's the number of individual tokens you would then take for that initiative, for that character, and put them into a bag. And then we're drawing at random out of that bag for whose turn it is currently. And there's also an end of round token in there that would signify it's the next round. So it's very random on initiative. So in this case, it would be, you have 2 initiatives for Scarpe, and the mysterious armored fellow is counting as a henchman. And in this game, henchmen, if I remember correctly, they add 1 more token for you. Let me double check that. Yes. So they just get a single initiative. And then on that initiative, the GM determines what the henchman does. But you can also offer up suggestions and things, but it will ultimately come down to the GM's decision. Does all that make sense before we get started?
Yeah.
Any questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
And before the battle begins, I look at the 2 guys that said yeah, and I say, I wager not in gold, but if you win, if you best us both, I shall give you all the remaining silver pence I have. If we win, you hand over your weapons, and they are now forfeit is mine.
We want our shrubbery.
They look at each other, back to you, and the one that had spoke before says, yeah, sure. Seems worth it.
Very well, and I get in a stance and look up at Master Shruggins. Are you ready, sir?
He jumps down off of you, readies his lance,
And shrugs.
and he looks ready. Yeah, and shrugs. All right. Let me check this initiative thing is ready. So the way this is going to work in Foundry, though, is that I have to set up a roll table that I'm rolling from for those random results. So these enemies each have 3 initiative. All right. And this is going to be the downside of using the system in Foundry, is that this is going to take a moment every time for me to set up, unless I can do it ahead of time for planned encounters.
And as the fight starts, can I say something to Altier?
Yeah, go for it. I am ready to start whenever, but yeah, anything anyone else wants to do in the meantime?
I kind of lean into Altier and I say, now boy, go find some fireworks that put off bright flashes and lights, and you keep them to yourself.
Got it. And I scurry away.
I look for the Lady of Pockets. Can I still see her? You said I saw where she went.
You did see where she went. Roll for awareness.
I have awareness.
Are you aware, though?
Am I aware that I have awareness? Let's see. Awareness here. Roll under. Come on. Yes!
You are aware.
I am aware.
All right. You can see that she is still ducking in and out of people hiding behind things in the crowd there as these... it's kind of comical to you. Just sitting back, you're enjoying your drink as this lady's running around, ducking, hiding, just barely missing as these people, the 2 men that were chasing her, kind of walk back and forth as well, right behind her.
I'd like to be able to, this is what I would like to happen, behind a potted plant or a curtain or a partition, as she comes rushing, trying to avoid them, grab her by the sleeve, pull her behind the barrier, and have them go running past. Can I make that happen?
Yes. Possibly. Let's get back to you. Give me a. Do you have any particular skill that might help you in that case?
Let's see. I have sneak. Yeah, no, I think that's my best one. I have sneak.
Yeah, give me a sneak check on that, and then we'll
You
get back to you.
snake.
The fighting starts. Everyone is watching.
Come on. Oh, doggone it.
Okay. We will get back to you after this first round, Assisi.
After these messages.
We drew an enemy for initiative first. So we'll say we've got Stranger 1 and Stranger 2, both wielding identical weapons. Stranger 1 is going to take a turn, rushing forward with the drawn short sword and striking at Scarpe. Scarpe, would you like to resist with your own melee attack? You would roll a
Yes.
roll over skill for that.
Okay, is
So-
it just sword fighting, or is it based on the weapon that I'm using?
Both,
Okay.
because you use the skill appropriate for whatever weapon you are using. So in this case, if you're using your sword here, you have great sword fighting and sword fighting. So it's
Yeah, I'm
basically
using-
they're the same thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I'm just using regular sword fighting, so
okay.
right now. So, is it a roll over then? You said.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. So those are opposed rolls in melee fighting, and trying to hit each other in a melee. It's whoever rolls higher succeeds in harming the other. So the enemy has succeeded in their attack here, and you will take some damage from that. So his short sword, 8 points of damage as he runs up and leaves a nice deep cut across your arm.
Question with the blessing of Tilak, the armor is equal to half of my number of swords I carry. Do I need to? Does that adjust for anything?
Are you just asking like how armor affects damage?
Yeah.
Armor, I believe, just flat out reduces the amount of damage you suffer. So
Okay.
there are 4 levels of protection. They're kind of vaguely defined in this game, though. But generally, it's light armor, modestly armored, or heavily armored, or unarmored. But you've got a specific number for your blessing, which works a little differently. And it just modifies damage rolls. So you said how
Okay.
much you have? 4?
3.
3. Okay.
Because
So
I
then
have
you would
6
take
swords.
5 total.
Okay. So then.
All right. Next initiative, another enemy. Stranger 2 draws his pistol actually and takes a shot at your armored friend.
Master Shruggins, watch out!
So he's going to roll that. And Master Shruggins has rolled very poorly in this case, and the pistolet shot dents into his armor and he staggers back a little bit.
So you're saying he rolled just short of what he needed.
Yes. All right, that is a hard hit. But he's still standing, doing okay. He's still in the duel. Next up for initiative, another enemy. It's unfortunate for you. Hang on, I forgot to check something that removes some things. Okay. Continuing his attack, Stranger number 1 swings his sword again at Scarpe. So go ahead and roll your melee attack. All right. Again, he feints around your guard and lands an attack on you. Eight damage, modified by your armor, of course. Next up is Tilted Shrug. He sees you being attacked by that stranger, that stranger number one with the sword. So he's going to run forward with his lance and try and impale him. Non-lethally impale, of course. It's the duel.
Of course.
I'm just
He
checking
puts
his
foam
skill
at
real
the end of
quick.
his lance.
Skill of 9. All right, and the stranger. All right. Tilted Shrug takes more damage as this stranger seems to be a rather deft swordsman, dodging his attack. I am actually going to avoid the next, ignore the next two enemy initiative draws because I messed up the table at first, so just ignore the next two that come up. But Scarpe, it's your turn.
Scarpe is just going to attack, I guess.
All right. The same one that is attacking you with the short sword?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice roll. I feel so bad, I'm sorry.
All right.
Playing it as the rules, though. So you take 6 damage.
And I'm on the last, or I'm sorry, no, that'd be, okay, I forgot about the armor. There we go. All right.
What is your stamina at now?
5.
5?
Yeah.
So he lands another blow on you, leaving a fairly deep cut across your midsection. Takes a step back, gets up in his guard, and says, Do you yield?
And I look over at Master Shruggins and I look and try and peer into that grill of a helmet that he's got on. And I sheathe my swords and I say never. And I push down my jaw and I look up and I try to retrieve the Zweihander from that's lodged into my body from the middle of my body.
All right. So you pull that giant Zweihander out and you have that equipped now. And the fight continues.
I would during the fight, I'd lean over to Altier and I'd say, when the other side is about to get a good strike, why don't you launch your flashy firework?
Good idea. I can do that.
All right. Altair, go ahead and make a ranged attack for that now.
Okay. You want me to just do straight skill, or can I roll an awareness to see if like I can time it?
And no, so shooting an opponent is resolved by rolling versus their skill or appropriate evasive advanced skill such as shield or dodge. But shooting into melee, when shooting into melee on a successful hit, assign a number to every individual involved and roll a die. If their number comes up, they receive the damage. So that's what's going to happen. You've got a chance to hit allies here.
Okay. We'll just roll a skill then, right?
Yep. And it'd
Roll
be
under
roll
or
over.
over. Oh, roll over.
Yep.
Can I use the luck from the black bonbon here? Is there a way we can do that? Or like as a mulligan, possibly?
Yes,
in
we
case?
will. I'll have it be a reroll. Yeah. Just like a
Alright.
normal, chat bonus die. So you can re-roll that if you'd like.
Okay. Not any better.
Okay, I'll let you keep the highest. So then this would be against the stranger. We'll see what their evasiveness is. Okay, so we'll keep that in mind for when that's going to happen. Let's continue initiative. We said we were skipping the next enemy, but there was one more enemy token at least. So the stranger with the pistolet aims again and fires at Tilted Shrug. And let's see how he does. Gets that 17. Unable to dodge it. He takes another shot from that pistol. And he falls back, sprawls onto the floor. Looks like he's kind of just barely moving, but he's out for the fight, it appears. Let me check table. Okay, that's correct. And then he turns his pistol to you, Scarpe, and says, "Do you yield?"
The Temple Knight of Telok never yields, and he stands there with both hands on the Zweihander.
All right. Stranger 2 takes his shot. Would you like to try and evade that if you have any sort of dodge skill? Otherwise, just a flat skill roll.
Yeah. So I guess it's just gonna be a skill roll.
There, you got it.
Nice.
The shot rings out, misses you, and someone in the crowd behind you yells, and everyone cheers.
I don't even look back. I just keep looking at them.
Scarpe, you're up.
All right, so I go and try and take out the one that shot Master Shruggins. Tilted Shrug. So.
All right.
Great sword.
Okay, you were attacking the one with the gun out?
Yeah.
Okay. Then he is able to dodge out of the way of it. He's not actually attacking you back because he's not at the ready with his sword. But you swing that huge Zweihander and just barely miss as he does a little spin move out of the way of your blade. And that is the end of the round. So let's go over to a Sissy real quick to see what he's doing. A Sissy.
Well, I attempted to grab her and obviously missed or something.
Yes. So you were able to do it, just not in a very stealthy manner. You make all sorts of noise, and both of those people chasing her see you. But you incidentally end up falling down into some sort of skylight into a room below.
What?
And this woman, covered in pockets, she's wearing a denim dress, it looks like, with just tons of pockets on top of pockets all over the place, stands up frantically, looks around. Her hair is all frizzy and sticking up everywhere. You've both safely fallen through, and she's just looking at you, and she says, "You're not one of them. Quick, into this door." And she runs to the wall, reaches towards it, and as she does, a door handle forms. She rips it open, and there's a door there, stepping out onto a beach. "Quick! There's no time!"
Oh man, this is
So you step
tempting.
inside.
I can't leave my fellows behind. I'm really tempted. But I can't leave the rest of my party behind. Will I be able to come back?
She scowls at you and slams the door behind her. The door disappears.
Yeah, a missed opportunity. A missed opportunity. Never mind. Story of my life.
The two gentlemen that were chasing after you throw a rope ladder down for you to climb back up.
Okay, I climb back up. Now, gentlemen, it's not what you thought. I was trying to strip her up so that you could catch her.
What was on the other side of the door?
Buffet.
Bay. I know that door. Quick! To the dormitorium. And they run off.
And I will walk up to Assisi and said, don't mind them. They're just a bunch of resident assistants that think they have some extra power.
I just feel I might have missed the greatest opportunity of my young life. I'll be drowning my sorrows at the bar. Well, what do we see this combat still going on between Master Blaster and well, I pull out my crossbow and I shoot the guy with a gun.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and roll that. And we will add you to initiative.
Crossbow fighting. Roll under. Ha-ha! Amateur! Yep.
All right. Initiative updated. You rolled a 4. You have to roll over for attacks.
Now you tell
Sorry.
me. Blast it!
Yeah, the one time you got a good roll on the roll under. Sorry.
The one time. I actually clicked roll under. Shouldn't I have clicked roll over? Shouldn't I get a... Aha! Still in the fight.
Okay, 13.
Ha-ha!
And the stranger rolls a 17. As your crossbow flies wide, hits someone else in the crowd, and again there's cheers. And now you are in the fight as initiative continues with an enemy. The stranger, number 1 with the short sword, rushes towards you, Scarpe, as you've run away from him to attack the pistol wielder. Go ahead and roll your opposing skill. A tie. Let's see what happens when there's a tie, because I don't remember. I think you both damage each other.
We knock each other out.
In a tie, both parties have avoided hurting each other.
Have avoided hurting each other. Aha.
Parry,
Interesting.
thrust.
Yeah. So you avoid hurting each other as he runs up behind you, swings his sword, and you just duck under it very calmly. As you're in your typical battle trance, I imagine. Next up in the initiative is another enemy. He continues his assault with his short sword. Go ahead and roll your opposed again. All right. Not quite good enough, but a firework blasts from out of the crowd as Altair, his aim was true, and it hits the man wielding the short sword. Go ahead and roll a 1d10, Altair.
1d10. Oh, wow.
All right, not much damage, but it definitely blinds him as he staggers backwards, and the cheer goes wild, and the crowd goes wild with cheers. Next up is Tilted Shrug, but he is on the ground, knocked out. We'll see if he can rise to the occasion here. Skill roll over. Oops, meant to do under. There we go. He's waking up. It looks like he's getting up onto his feet again. Up next, another enemy initiative. Stranger number 2 is putting his pistol back away and getting his short sword out, getting into a stance to start some melee fighting here. And it is his turn again, so he is going to begin swinging that short sword at you, Scarpe.
All right.
If you'd like to roll your opposed check.
I won.
You did. Roll your damage.
Whew.
All right. Tell me what happens to him. He is now effectively out of the fight.
Oh, okay. So I seen him put his pistol up after blocking, like ducking underneath that one guy's. I come back up to that guy who basically knocked out Master Shruggins, and I just swing upwards with the Zweihander, and it cuts across his torso in a diagonal manner, and it blows him backwards, kind of probably into the crowd as he's kind of knocked out unconscious.
All right, awesome. So Stranger number 2 is out of the duel. Stranger number 1 still continuing to try and hit you with his short sword. But let's see who's up in the initiative. Scarpe, you have the initiative.
All right. And then I turn around and try and take this guy out.
All right. He's able to dodge around your swing, stab at you. 6 points of damage.
Ooh, thank God for my armor. All right.
Scarpe, you are up again in initiative.
And after taking that blow, probably to the back or the side, I swing at him again.
All right, 15. He is opposing that with a 16. Let me check. There's a mechanic we haven't used yet. There's a use of luck in combat. Oh, it's in the case of a tie. We could have used this earlier. So keep this in mind.
Okay.
In the case of a tie, character may test their luck to break it in their favor.
Oh, okay.
So keep that in mind. There's also luck use on death. That's an optional thing. But anyways, I was just seeing if there was something we could use to alleviate your damage you're about to take here.
All right.
Another 6 points of damage.
Oh, man. That takes me down to
Alright.
-1.
Well, he pulls his swing just a little bit at the last second to prevent you from completely flat out dying. As you fall unconscious, begin bleeding, I guess, if you have blood.
I would say parts of me are blood, yeah.
But Whispering Shrug is up and looks like he's ready to attack. Does anyone stop him or stop the duel? Because it looks like the stranger number 1 is kind of standing down.
I do.
No.
I do. I say enough. Look at the crossbow in my hand and quickly put it back on my behind my back. Enough. This has gone on far enough. You won, good Sir Knight.
It was a hard fought duel. I have a lot of respect for this warrior. And he leans down to you, Scarpe, and pulls out a small vial of some sort of red liquid and pours it over your body, and it falls and kind of hovers over and just dissipates into a mist over you, and you wake up and feel completely revitalized.
Oh, nice.
And he lifts you up.
And I take his hand and I hand over the silver pence that I have.
Keep it. We'll remember this. And they both turn and walk into the crowd and off the edge of the roof and just drop straight down.
I look at Master Shruggins and I say, we shall do that one day. We shall jump off the side of a building together like that one day.
And he looks very proud, ready for that day.
Well fought, men. Grab you a drink. Let us enjoy the evening.
Yes, that was much needed exercise. Thank you for the assist there, my friends.
Yeah, don't mention
And
it.
enjoy the evening you do. As the Feast of the Killiark continues on late into the night, eventually trailing off as the sun rises again. But unless there's anything else you'd like to do, we can wrap up this one shot. Yeah.
I'm good.
I don't have anything else. I think it was a
Okay.
fun little addition.
Yeah.
I think we push the boundaries of good taste.
I am definitely planning on running more of this in the future. I find the system really interesting, and there's a lot of parts of it we haven't even touched yet because despite it being, rules light, there's a couple little mechanics here and there we haven't really used, like the luck rolls. But yeah, I thought it was really interesting. I can't wait to explore a little more of this world and make up a bunch of crazy stuff in it. But I'd like to go around to each of the players and say whatever you'd like about the game, about the system. Yeah, like we usually do. Well, since Forloth, it sounds like you had something to say. We'll start with you.
I just wanted to say I really enjoyed the whimsy of it. I mean, that's what captured me when I first heard about it and followed up on it and read about it. There's just elements of it that were really, really quite amusing, really tickled my fancy. I think that for a group of hardcore, mix it up, kill a bunch of zombies or aliens or something along those lines, this is a bit of a departure. It takes perhaps a mental readjustment, but I would love to play it again.
I feel the same way. What about Assisi von Benures? Did I say that right?
Yeah, no, you said it exactly right. He is going to regret for the rest of his life that he didn't go through the doorway with that pockets woman.
Yeah.
For the rest of his life.
So we'll go to Dorzoka next, played by Dionysus.
Like Forloth said, I enjoyed the shift from gung-ho to lighthearted tomfoolery. It was a lot of fun. Took a little bit to find the character a little bit and what direction I wanted to go. But no, I did enjoy it. I liked it a lot. I'm actually very interested to see what happens with the Fellowship. I would like to see them see their future.
Yeah.
And Dorzoka, he enjoyed the fight. He wanted to enjoy the evening with drink and festivities and shenanigans as well by kind of assisting the young Altier to help but not help with the fireworks. He feels that there might be more fighting in the future, so he wanted to enjoy himself.
Yeah. All right. So we'll go to, you mentioned Altair, we'll go to him next, played by Preacher.
So this system feels like Monkey Bones does Alice in Wonderland, and I just love it so much. Like it's different and it's its own entity. Like it's not similar to anything else we've ever played. So dude, I loved it. I thought it was cool. I like the system. I like the roles. I like the it has rules, it has structure, but it doesn't. I don't know. It's like it's a very weird way of like it's organized chaos, much like the actual game, like the one shot itself. I think that's awesome. I had a good time playing Altair. For once, I just kind of took a back seat and was just really snarky, and I think that's hilarious.
It worked well for the character, I think.
Yeah, so I can't wait to continue playing that role, especially with these guys. It's been a refreshing welcome back from a 2-month hiatus, and I'm pretty excited to get back in the swing of it, do it again for sure.
Yeah, me too.
Might I be so bold, Preacher, and say that this actually suits your overall game style to a T? These are the kind of characters you play just in general, in my experience, in the couple of games that I've played with you. These kind of wacky, just out of the blue wildness that you are just renowned for. I think that this just suits you.
Well, I'm ashamed I didn't get to steal any noses, but maybe next time.
Case in point. Case in point.
All right, so lastly, we'll go to our expert duelist, Scarface Spitzer.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the simplicity of it. As far as the system goes, like everybody else has said, I love the numerous amounts of backstories that there is. I mean, there was one that I was reading just the other day, and it had me dying laughing at the type of background it is. I won't give out any spoilers or anything, but it's just hilarious. And the oddity of it is great. Like everybody said, it took a minute to get into what was really going on, mainly because it was so odd and out there that it's just like a whole different thing. Can't treat it like Dungeons and Dragons, can't treat it like Call of Cthulhu, can't even treat it like anything else. It's its own entity, its own thing. So but yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was actually quite amazing that during this, introduction of scenarios, that we were able to get through it all the way by just standing still in an elevator.
Yeah.
And like that to me is just amazing. It's like it makes the obvious choice that you never take in RPGs, because everything has to be more complex.
Yeah.
And just makes the most obvious choice the winning choice. So I was like, that's great to me. So
that's one thing I was gonna say. That's props to Severian for sure, because only Severian could make standing in an elevator as fun as that was. That was stupidly well executed. And even whenever like we were like, hey, this is the end of the established material, what do you still like executed that with all, like, that was fantastic. I enjoyed that as well.
Well, thank you. I had a lot of fun running it. Definitely, I like the which one was it? Alpha Wolf, I think you said, controlled chaos, sort of. I think that's fitting for this system. Yeah, definitely looking forward to playing more of this. We are going to continue to find out what happens with these characters, but of course you can always roll up new characters for the continuing scenario. And we're also going to try and get a couple more people in here. See if Turg and Tabletop Tony can join us next time, maybe Hades too. Should be interesting to see what you guys do sailing off in the Golden Barge across the many spheres of the humpback sky. So with that, we will do a raid, I think. Looks like Roll Positive Gaming we're gonna raid. Did we check that is an English channel this time?
Yeah, it is in English, yes.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for watching. I don't know if Kita, you're still in the chat. Thank you for all of the gifted subs. Appreciate that a lot. And we will be back probably within the next few weeks with more Troika. Once we get that scheduled, we'll figure it out. Any other games coming up? I believe we have Star Trek. Is that next week?
Next Wednesday.
Well,
Yep. Next Wednesday. Yep. Should be the final episode to season 1.
Yeah, exciting stuff. So
Wednesday at 7.
come check that out. Otherwise, a little bit slower, just people busy doing stuff, holidays and things during the summer. So keep an eye out on our Discord, Twitter, all of that for more games. we'll talk to you later. Stick around for the raid. Bye, everyone.